They expected a noise complaint. When hotel staff unlocked room 1123 at the Halston Grand, they thought they'd find a loud guest, maybe a couple arguing, maybe someone drunk and alone. What they found instead was blood. A cracked mirror. A freezing room locked from the inside. And a message scratched deep into the wall. She never left. The woman who checked in 2 nights earlier, Ariana Bell, was gone. No body. No sign of forced entry. Her phone still charging. A heel under the bed. And in her last selfie, a stranger reflected behind her. This story isn't just about a missing influencer, or even the woman who vanished from that exact same room 5 years earlier. It's about what happens when the truth is buried under security footage gaps, dead psychiatrists, mirror reflections that don't match reality, and a third disappearance that blew everything open. Because once you check into room 1123, you might never leave. The discovery when hotel staff unlocked room 1123 at the Halston Grand in downtown Chicago, they expected to handle a noise complaint. A guest had reported loud banging and crying. Instead, they found a mattress soaked in blood, a mirror cracked down the center, and a closet door ripped from its hinges. The room was freezing cold despite it being early March. On the wall, scratched deep and jagged, was a chilling message: she never left. But there was no body, no purse, no sign of the woman who had checked in 2 nights earlier. Ariana Bell. A 24-year-old travel and lifestyle blogger with over 200,000 followers and a new podcast deal. Known for encouraging young women to find themselves in unfamiliar places, this was her first solo trip after a public breakup. She checked into the hotel on March 1st, posting photos of champagne, city views, and a confident mirror selfie. But by March 3rd, she was gone. The vanishing security footage showed Ariana arriving alone, taking the elevator to the 11th floor. No one followed her. No one else entered that floor. Yet she was never seen leaving. Detectives arrived, finding signs of violence: a broken glass, one heel under the bed, the other near the window, and her phone still charging on the nightstand, unlocked. Her last text: "This room is kinda creepy, lol. Mirror keeps fogging even with no shower." The door was locked from inside, no forced entry. The mirror's secret: zooming in on Ariana's last selfie, detectives noticed a pale, blonde woman reflected in the mirror behind her, someone Ariana was alone with when she took the photo. Forensics found a blonde hair in the closet behind a baseboard that didn't belong to Ariana. It belonged to Rachel Corman, a 22-year-old woman who disappeared from the same hotel, same room, 5 years earlier. The cold case reopened. Rachel's disappearance mirrored Ariana's perfectly: no forced entry, no suspects, the same scratched message: she never left. Her case had gone cold until Detective Mason Quill reopened it, spotting the pattern: room 1123, no intruders caught on camera, young women active on social media, strange reflections in photos, and an unnaturally low thermostat setting below 50 degrees. 2 suspects emerged. Caleb Rowan, Ariana's ex, who sent desperate messages before her trip but had an alibi placing him miles away. And Trevor Lynn, a guest nearby who claimed to see someone on Ariana's balcony but then went silent. Trevor was a former psychiatric tech at the Cardell Institute, specializing in trauma and dissociation. The police found a locked trunk filled with photos of young women, many at the Halston Grand, including Rachel and Ariana. Rachel had been a patient at Cardell, where her psychiatrist, Dr. Ezra Kingsley, died mysteriously in 2018. Trevor worked under him. Ketamine and sedatives from Cardell were found in Trevor's possession and in blood samples on the mattress. Trevor was arrested, charged with stalking and Rachel's murder, but denied killing Ariana. He confessed chillingly, "I watched them. I was there. But when I got to Ariana's room, she was already screaming. She wasn't alone." The case exploded in public consciousness. Podcasts, true crime forums, and paranormal groups swarmed the hotel, calling room 1123 cursed. A maid claimed she once saw a woman standing in the mirror who wasn't there. The hotel sealed the room, but the dark reputation spread. A construction worker found a red journal in a ventilation shaft connected to the hotel. It belonged to Rachel and described dreams, voices, and, the other one, a figure who looked like her but wasn't, whispered secrets, smiled at her fear. Rachel's entries hinted at dissociative identity disorder and something living inside her mind, or the room. Layla Byrne, a nurse, vanished after drinking at the hotel's rooftop bar. Security footage showed her entering the elevator alone, like the others. No struggle. No trace. Only a lipstick mark and the words, "She never left," faintly visible on the mirror. Layla appeared at a gas station, barefoot, shivering, unable to speak. She told doctors she was locked in a room with a woman who looked like her but older. The woman's voice echoed in her mind. Mirrors everywhere. Flickering lights. Police searched the hotel but found nothing. Room 1123 remained sealed. Layla's bruises matched the room's door frame. Trevor remains jailed but is no longer the sole suspect. Detectives suspect a larger, more sinister pattern. Ariana is still missing, but 3 days after disappearing, her phone was briefly powered on near Lake Michigan, snapping a photo of her smiling on the shore, taken by someone else. Every March 2nd, the Halston Grand receives an anonymous envelope with no return address, containing a postcard that reads, "She never left. And she's not alone." Now investigators wonder, was the room ever the true danger, or something deeper connecting these women long before they checked in?